Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you today?
I am great, Dino, and how are you doing?
I'm good. I slept really well. It was pretty nice. I only woke up like once in the middle of the night to pee, and I'm an old man.
Still no edibles, and you slept really well?
Yeah, no, I'm an old man, so I gotta wake up to pee every once in a while. That's, yeah, well, hey, just gotta make sure, at least it's not like a, and that's it. It's like a full pee, so it's like, hey, you know what, I had a glass of water, this is what I'm paying for, it's fair, it's when
You got up for something.
Yeah, exactly. It's I feel bad for old guys who are like, they get up to pee and it's only like bloop, bloop, and you're like, oh, that sucks, dude. That's a rough life. But how are you?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Yeah. That's always good.
I'm eating oatmeal.
God damn it.
And I've been doing a ton of writing.
Fantastic.
like a lot. Nothing comedy-wise, so...
This episode, when it comes time to go to court, will be viewed as Exhibit A.
Yeah, it will. 'Cause I'm just going to find nuclear bomb. Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to say bomb.
Well, what can you do? We're only a minute and a half in. Let's just roll with it.
Sarcasm, what?
Oh,
it was sarcasm.
It's how I hug.
Yeah, see? Oh my god, I should totally get that shirt. Because that's me.
To what? To wrap a car in? Thanks a lot, Crystal. It's not very nice.
In my size. Why would I get it in your size?
Because they only make fat shirts in fat people sizes, okay?
That's not a fat shirt. How is it a fat shirt? Will you stop fat shaming yourself?
No. It's probably for the best.
I know.
It's probably for the best. Like, can you imagine? Let's put it this way. I'm around 400 pounds. If I didn't fat shame myself, I'd be kicking around 6. Let's be honest. It's not good. It's not good.
Have you ever tried this bulimia? You can eat everything you want.
No. That's horrible. It's really not healthy for your body or for your teeth. I have decent teeth, so I want to keep them as long as I can. I probably won't.
Brush your teeth after you're done. Don't be gross.
I
had it for years and I don't even have any cavities.
Well, that's a good thing. It's a start.
I'm kidding, ladies. Do not ever do that. Be happy with what you got.
I love how sometimes we give horrible advice and it sounds so sincere that you're like, nothing good is going to come from this, because there's going to be one person somewhere, someday, who's going to watch that and go, oh, I could try that. And you're like, no, man, that's bad advice.
I had a doctor tell me I could convince them to do coke. They're like, you almost got me sold on it.
That's like, you should feel pride in it. Like, you should be like, hey, I did that, but at the same time, that's not a good thing. It's like,
it wasn't good. Like, I don't suggest it to anybody. It was just where I was at. I was like, listen, dude, this is what's up. Because
I'm
really blunt about it, right? I'm like, listen, like if I believe something, I'm like, okay, listen.
Yeah, well, that's always weird. Is I was talking with a friend of mine years ago about this, and how he was like, it's tricky going to a doctor, and then you don't want to the doctors judge you, right? Because doctors, you don't really like.
But they've also seen everything.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop them from being an asshole, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's it's that weird situation where you're kind of like, he's like, oh, how many drinks do you have a week? And my buddy, who drinks like every day, he doesn't get drunk every day, but he'll come home and have a couple drinks. That's his thing. But he's very wealthy. He's got a great family. Everything's fine. Everything like that. But he'll say to the doctor, be like, "Oh, I have 1 or 2 a week," and the doctor's like, "Really, really?"
They know.
Oh, for sure they do.
They do test on you. They do stuff like that on you. It will come up in that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're not there for that, it will show up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they know.
Well,
and they know it's, even if they're not looking for it, they see it.
Well, the worst part for me is they'll be like, hey, do you do this, this, and this? And I'm like, No. And they're like, really? And I'm like, I don't. I'm like, I'm not lying.
No.
That's happened to me more than once.
The first time they ever found like cocaine in my system, when the first time I went to the hospital, and they were like, there is cocaine here. I'm like, what? And then the nurse is like, she's like, have you ever heard of a Cocoa Puff? She's like, sometimes, because I'm like, well, I smoke weed and I was at a friend's house, like, and she's like, well, there's a Cocoa Puff, and she was explaining this to me, clearly knew what a Cocoa Puff was. But I'm just like, oh, and I'm like, well, there was a couple people that I didn't know there, but we were all just sitting around a bonfire. I thought it was harmless, passed around a doobie. Yeah. After that, they kind of got it.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
But like after it showed up like a couple more times after that, I'm like, hey, listen. I'm sorry, guys. Apparently that Cocoa Puff, it wouldn't go away.
I just keep going to the same party and it keeps on going awesome.
Yeah.
This is the thing, is that for myself personally, I've always found that I don't want to, like, if I have to go to the hospital, I did something wrong. That's my perspective. And that's not the right perspective or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's always like, I've never partied so hard that I had to go to the hospital. I've partied so hard I probably should have gone to the hospital, but I've never actually gone. And I don't know if that's, like, it's weird where I'm like, that tells me I'm like, I'm okay. But then at the same time, you're not. It's not okay at all.
People, don't fucking up and stuff. It's not a good time. Like,
Well,
and it's not a good feeling having like professionals know that you're fucking up your life that bad. That's why I always say that I'd rather go buy condoms than tampons, because I'm like, at least people know I'm having safe sex. Or they think I'm having sex.
That isn't horrible advice. Like, it's not a horrible. It's okay. Yeah, I get that. I really do.
But people knowing that you're taking care of yourself and you're making good choices is a good thing. When you show up at a hospital half dead, not awesome.
Yeah, not people. It's not.
Like, it's not cool. Like, I get so like. You've got to make some good choices, people. Just know that, like, and society is the worst judgment, but you don't need to give them extra to go on. Well, they're gonna make it up anyways. Well,
it's funny that you would say that.
Prove them wrong.
Well, it's funny you would say that, because
not that you need.
I was talking with another person about this, how if only there's some knowledge, like the idea of going back to being 10 years old and having all the knowledge you have now. And there's two sides to that. Is number one is the experience of youth, where you get to discover things for the first time, is a beautiful thing. The problem is it can go sour when you don't have the right people around you, or you're influenced by the wrong, all sorts of things. Whereas the knowledge, if you got your shit together now, going back to there, it may not be as beneficial as you think it is. But at the same time, well, no, it's true, because sometimes...
No, because I didn't start till I was 30 years old.
Right? So and that's why
it's not awesome. You lose a lot more. If you're going to do it young. You're like... Fuck. You got a lot more to lose when you're 30 than you do when you're 20.
Also true.
So go get it done when you're 20.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, this is the whole thing, is that the innocence of youth is very beneficial, but people do take advantage of it. And we were talking about how many times have you been in a job where a manager asked you to do something that you should not have been asked to do, but you were afraid to say no, right? And I remember I was in one job and they're like, hey, you have to clean up the bathroom. I walked into the bathroom and there was shit everywhere. I'm like, I'm not cleaning that. And they're like, well, it's your job. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. You do it. And he goes, well...
Not once have I ever done that, and I've done some really shit. Well, I have, I guess, but not really.
Well, that was the thing. He was like, well, if you don't do that, then maybe this isn't the right place for you. I'm like, okay, I quit. I'm like, no, you can't quit. And I'm like, then what are you talking about? I'm like, then you have fun cleaning up the shit. Because I'm like, I can't... Like, that's the thing. This is the problem, and I see this so often, is that people who are in a position of authority and power take advantage so much that it bothers the shit out of me. I've stepped in a couple times where I'm like, hey, don't treat him like that. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. And I I tore a strip off a manager at one point, and I can't say that it was the nicest thing, but it was just. It was justice to the employees that were there, because I said, "How dare you treat?" Because he yelled at a waiter in front of all the guests, and I was like, because I was when I was a waiter, I had a manager who was so. I was a waiter, but I had actually lost all the weight. So I was sitting around like 240, 250 pounds. I was gorgeous,
Nice.
right? This guy was about 6'7" and probably around 500 pounds. Like, he was massive. Wow. And the funny times is he would use intimidation all the time, and he would use very inappropriate humor to young women who would go, ha, they would laugh because they didn't know what to do, but at the same time, I would look at him going, hey, you're a pig, you know? And
oh God, Dino. I'm like, oh
no,
God.
well, this is the thing. He did this. This is what happened, okay?
I think I've had like 1 or 2 jobs where I haven't gotten tested and molested by the boss.
That's not okay. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, so this is one guy.
He's just making money.
No, but that's the thing is, it's not. That's like at its core principle is so horrible, because so what happened was he had a box where we would give him our tips and to tip out, and he'd put it in there. And he's like, and he said to one girl, which I know that's got its own issues, but it's fine. She goes, oh, I owe you $20. And so there's a 20 on top. She grabs it. He goes, hey, I don't put my hands in your box. And I was like, I just looked at him. I'm like, you're a pig. And she was like, ha. And she was actually like obscenely hot. She was smoking hot. And I think she used to be fat, so she didn't have much self-confidence. But I was also previously fat, so I had no self-confidence either, but she was ridiculously hot. But she just kind of played it off, and she was like, ha 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 ha, you're so funny. And I'm like, I just leaned right, I was standing right beside her. I looked over, and I'm like, you're a pig, and you disgust me. Like, I can't. But
God. Where were you?
Yeah.
I should have carried you to like every job I've ever had.
Well, that was the funny thing is, me and him had a showdown.
I only told one.
Well, and you should. And this is, you know what, guys? This is a piece of advice that I think is very beneficial. Every job, nobody has gotten a job because they didn't need it, okay? Everyone needs the job, okay? Everyone goes into say, oh, well, I need this job. Yeah, no shit. Otherwise, you wouldn't be working, okay? Everyone needs a job. That doesn't make it okay for them to abuse you. It doesn't make it okay for people to take advantage of you. So if something like that happens, stand up to you for yourself. This guy who was massive. And honestly, I look back, and that's the thing is, I still had fat guy brain where I'm like, oh, you want to go fat guy fight? Let's go fat guy fight. And I wasn't fat anymore, so it was a bad idea. But he was like, oh, it's like that? I said, yeah, you know what? It is. And he goes, well, you know what? Fine, whatever. And when I had forced him to put his money where his mouth is, he walked away. I was in the kitchen, and I was a horrible waiter. Just to be very clear, I was the shittiest of shit waiters.
Yeah, you've told us that.
But when he walked away, the kitchen staff came out from the line and were like, I just want to shake your hand. And I'm like, for what? They're like, I've never seen anyone talk to him like that.
Yeah, because people don't.
No, they don't.
And especially in that business, because you won't get the hours that you want, because especially as like a bartender or waitress, there's certain nights that are
profitable.
Like you want.
Absolutely.
Right? Or you want like these certain shifts because you know that it's going to be good, like a wing night or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you let the boss kind of flirt with you a little bit, guess what? You get those shifts.
Yeah.
But also if you kind of act respectful and stuff too, though, because that's why I started taking the dominating role, the authority role and stuff, because I was getting.
Sounds exciting.
And that's why I like to be the boss. Like, I have to be in charge, because if I'm not, then I'm a perfect target for people to take advantage, because people underestimate me as it is, and they go in thinking that I don't have the capabilities. I got stung by a bee yesterday,
What
and
the
my
hell?
leg is just like, oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Like yesterday, and he was messaging me. I'm like, you know what? From start to finish, this hasn't been awesome. Like, I did have family. We had family stop by and come see my grandpa and stuff, and it was cool to see like people other like outside your circle. Though we're still wearing masks, but to see people outside your circle is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, you would never know how cool it is until like it happens.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
And you know what? It is. That's why it's.
Especially because
there's nothing
back in lockdown.
Yeah. Well.
You too, I know. I'm sorry.
No.
Person to mention that.
No. I don't take that. I don't take offense or take it personally or anything. It is what it is, right? Like it's not.
You're super optimistic during these times.
Which is really weird.
I need to go away somewhere.
I know, and you know what? That's so. It's very weird because I'm not really like I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm pessimistic, but I lean towards pessimism. Like I try and reason back to realistic. Like that's you know. Yeah. I try and I'm only optimistic in the worst of situations where I'm like, yeah, we'll figure it out. And people were like, what? It's on fire. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to make it nice, right? But that's the thing is like during this time, I've like I go back and watch every once in a while the rants and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of surprising myself with how optimistic I am and just how positive I am, because it's not really a positive time in my life. It's pretty horrible that I can't get out of the house and do shit, but yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This has been a complete different life in my existence.
Yeah.
This is like I've never ever had something like this, and I'm used to change. I'm fine with it, but this is a change that completely takes me out of my element.
Oh yeah.
Like nothing is like I've never ever had.
No,
like,
nobody has.
Completely
though.
not.
No,
me.
nobody.
It's just weird.
This is just so crazy, right? Like. Think about it. When was the last time that you went out to a bar? Would have been
when I did the. Oh, mine's not that long ago.
No. But like, no. Before quarantine, I mean.
Oh, okay. It would have been when I did the shows. I was working in a bar.
So it would have been the end of February, beginning of March.
Well, mine was March 13th was my last day of work.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's crazy, right? Like
my hair's all jacked today. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
You know, she's like, oh, I'm so thin. I have lots of hair. Just rubbing it in.
Oh, fuck off. I got some of my extensions. I don't have them in today, but I got my extensions if you want to borrow them. You can clip them to the little patch on top. Clip.
It makes me feel even better when you refer to that as the little patch on top. That's nice. That's just to be very clear. It's makes me feel
Cabbage Patch Kids. You're like a grown-up Cabbage Patch Kid.
I will see you in hell.
You totally look like a grown-up. You totally look like a grown-up Cabbage Patch
I do.
This is what happens in Magic.
I do look like a grown-up Cabbage Patch Kid. That's exactly what I look like. As long as I'm not one of those. Do you remember Garbage Pail Kids? Those were pretty rough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love those things.
I was that kid. They had to make those dolls so that way my people had something to communicate with. But hey, this is what the Garbage Pail Kids grow up to be. Oh my god.
Yes.
So, I've been working on, so what I'm writing about is, I'm writing about people. In general, just because things have been weird for me, and I don't feel like I'm understanding. I don't feel like I fit in any time. So I'm trying to get an understanding of how people are thinking and stuff, because it's blowing my mind, and I just don't. I think things should be a lot simpler than they are, and people aren't seeing things that are right in front of their faces, and people aren't paying attention to what's important. As long as they're comfortable and they feel like they have what they need in life or what they want, they feel like everything's okay.
Correct.
And it's like, no, people, why isn't anybody paying attention? Like, I've been watching just a lot of this.
Oh, she's been sending it to me too.
But...
So...
It wasn't weird. It's not like the good weird stuff that I usually watch, like AIs and aliens stuff.
The interesting part is she pretty much ghosted me for like a whole day, and I'm like, did I do something? I'm sorry if I did. I don't know what to do. She's like, we're fine. You're just a piece of shit. Don't worry about it. And then started messaging me. But she made me last the entire day. I was dying. But
oh my god. No, he just was dying because he didn't think that I had sent it a full... It was just annoying because I watched the video that day, and it wasn't a great video because Dino doesn't know how to apologize because he never really thinks he's wrong.
True.
And he never really understands that the way that he comes across sometimes is... pretty well. It's not because he doesn't understand because the rest of society is like that too. I've noticed. This is why I started writing about people.
So so I've gone from somebody she really enjoys her company to just like everyone else. So you go fuck yourself, you asshole.
Well,
how about that?
I do really enjoy your company.
Yeah, but I'm just like everybody else.
Well, you're not super but the condescending, really trying to apologize for something, but turning it around that it's mine. Like, well, if somebody would contact somebody, well, we go away approaching things. If you approach something, like, fuck off. Just say that maybe it wasn't cool, that I wasn't feeling good, and then move on. No. And that's it. Because I was trying to do that through the whole episode.
Let's be very clear. If I apologize for...
But it's all about perception, and that was my perception. So you're
entitled
to your perception.
May I say something? May I say something to defend myself from this onslaught?
Surprise! Surprise!
I will apologize because I don't want people to feel bad for things that I've said. Okay? That is not an admittance of me not being right. That is an admittance that I have made you feel bad and that I feel sorry for. Okay? Let's be very clear to that. Okay? I'm very...
they're well aware. We're all very clear on that.
You know what? I am fucking great, okay? You eat shit and die, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Yeah. Such an asshole. Why do you have to be like... No, listen. Just the same way, okay? Let's... No, you know what?
Go ahead, because you're going to try... Go ahead.
No. Listen. Personal growth comes from within, not from without. Exactly. So you are right. I should
That's try what I said. This is my perception.
Can I speak for 5 minutes, maybe? Is that possible? Why don't you just eat your muffin, okay? Eat your muffin.
Yeah. My muffin's yummy. My muffin's yummy.
The point is that I'm getting some water, so I'm going to keep on talking while this is happening. So bear with me, guys, while I'm off the camera. But what I'm saying is this. That it is very important on a daily basis to be confident. Shut your mouth, you. Okay? What I'm saying is this. I should not address people and have them feel like I'm being condescending. That is wrong. I'm saying that right there.
You're superior.
Okay? I just realized that you could hear everything I said, but the camera could not. So I walked away and they can't hear fuck all. So sorry about that, guys. I'm an idiot.
He's a superior being.
That's for sure. There's no question there. Okay? Okay. You're such an asshole sometimes, I swear to God. So, I need to work on that for myself because it's not very friendly and it's not very considerate to make people feel that they're being talked down to when you talk to them. And that is something that I should work on. Now, granted, I'm not sure how that's conveyed through text, but apparently it is. So I have to work on that thoroughly.
I have a lot to work on as well. I have to work
This isn't about you, lady. It's about me.
Trying to communicate when they're using their proper words.
Listen, if I ever show people the text that this one sent me, okay? Holy shit.
Oh,
listen,
do you want to?
Listen.
Because we can put them on the page and everybody will be like, this guy needs to calm the fuck down. Because he's messaged me every 5 seconds, has that video sent yet? He knows that I haven't had a PSW in 3 days. So it's been completely me.
Why?
Elbow deep in dealing with but yet... why aren't we recording? Do you know the editor's coming? I only have videos until Friday. Why aren't we recording? Don't you know the editor's coming? Have you loaded that video yet? I'm just a friendly reminder. If I count how many, just a friendly reminder, we have, and we have enough videos till Friday, so it's not like we haven't recorded, and it's not like we're out. And that's it. We don't have nothing to put up. Because that would be something to get angry about or something to get nervous about. But... Yeah. Oh, well, my editor's coming on Thursday, so we should probably record before that. No, because we're going to,
Hold on. So how many... Here's my question to you.
And then I work on anything for myself, then But, well, how come you're not recording? You could have went, but no, she went fishing and she went for a drive. Well, you know what? This project is for you and this is your project. Heaven forbid I try to do something for myself as well, like you're doing.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And I want to help you do those things, okay? What I'm saying is, a lot of the times, and let me try it. Listen, you and I we're at a very, very crucial point in our friendship. Okay, I'm not even looking at these guys. I'm looking right at you, Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Looking at you
We're at
too.
a very crucial part in our friendship. We can either power through stuff, or we can attack each other. Right?
No, we can power through it.
Okay. So for me,
Don't question. I'm question that I'm here.
Listen,
like, hello,
listen.
I still send you shit. We have to talk about shit or else you
of
can't.
course.
Get over it.
Let me explain what I mean.
I'm listening. I'm sorry. I'm listening to you.
When I send you a message, and you send me a message that doesn't answer that question, okay, it makes me feel like I'm not being heard either. And that makes me have to repeat it, and I know how that sounds. Don't think that I don't. My problem is that when you don't acknowledge what I've said, which has happened a lot, okay?
Yeah.
Because
Because I've got shit. I'm trying to take care of everything.
And I mentioned that. I'm like, hey, I know you got a lot on your plate. That's okay, but
But have you sent the video? But have you done this? But have you done that?
But listen, and you know what? Friends, talk about it so we can come to a good situation, because you being frustrated, that's not good for me, right? And you being frustrated isn't good for you, right? And me being frustrated isn't good for me, isn't good for you. So if both of us are frustrated, nobody's getting any shit done. It's a bad thing.
So have you been watching this Paradise Papers?
I actually went into Mauritius Papers. I went into Panama Papers. I went into the...
Nothing that I asked him if he looked at.
Literally...
I sent him a video. I'm like,
check
this out.
See, this is the problem, is when you're this kind of crazy, and people go, hey, have you seen this? I go, and I just start and start looking at things. So, Crystal, in her so eloquent segue to have me stop talking, has brought up Paradise Papers. What a lot of people don't realize was that a few years ago, some of you may remember something called the Panama Papers. The Panama Papers was was it? So that's now a few years, isn't it? See how that works? See, now I am talking to them because you're a bit of a dick today. You have every right to be a dick. You have every right to be a dick. You have a lot on your plate. I understand.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to be a dick. We have to say, though, what's on our things, or else it just gets built up and built up. It's just, it can't be condescending. I'm not trying to be the condescending thing is just, it's like, okay, it's just, can you just take the, hey, yeah, you got a lot going on, and I have been, bugging you every day, and the fact that you're not responding to me, by you saying the fact that you're not responding to me, it's like, why am I not responding? Because I told you over and over and over again, I haven't had, So I was just trying to end it so that way, because, come on. Just, if you're not going to listen, then we might as well talk about something else.
You're an awesome person, and I love working with you. And
vice versa.
And I'm excited to come through this on the other side, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
How about that? How about we finish on that?
Tom Segura's doing the Lord thing too. Oh, you mentioned that already.
I did mention that already.
They totally steal all our ideas.
I know.
We've got to watch out for them too.
Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do? Anyways, so let's talk. Let's change subjects officially.
Panama Papers. Panama Papers.
So Panama Papers started things.
I saw that face.
What?
Nothing. I saw that face when you went to go have a drink and you gave your fuck to this bitch.
No, that's more of a fuck. Let's just get through it. That's more so. It's not an attack on you. No, and when I say get through it, I mean the shit part of things. I want you to get through your shit. right?
We are. Like, I'm fine. Or else I wouldn't be talking about it. I'd be faking it till I make it, until I blow up.
Oh, I love your optimism. I really do. I enjoy it. It's just, at some point, you just, a little bit.
Meh. I'm aware of it.
So to our listeners, so you know, I used both my hands to make a circle around neck height that I would just give a little, you know. Some people are into it. Some people are into it. Anyways, so with everything that's been happening, so as always, guys, as a caveat, we try not to get political or religious and stuff, but we do try and bring up various subjects and information so people can be more aware. We don't want to take a side on things. Our side is mostly what is right and just versus what is wrong and unfair. That's what we try and do.
Yeah, that's our political view.
Like, I'm right, she's just. This is how we do things.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair, yeah.
Yep, I think that's so fair.
Yeah, that makes sense, you know. So, Panama Papers, Paradise Papers, there's the Mauritius Papers. There's also stuff that happened in, I believe it was Malta. So, what a lot of people don't realize, and this is, we talked about money the other day a little bit too. Now, when people who are rich hide their money, it's called tax evasion. When criminals do it, it's called money laundering. So, they are pretty much exactly the same thing. There are obviously different nuances and things in regards to it, but essentially it just means when you are guilty of tax evasion, you'll get an itty-bitty fine and go, nah, don't do it again. And then they do it again. Money laundering, they try and kill you. That's what happens. That's how that works. It really comes down to punishment because it's about amassing wealth, hiding it so that you don't pay taxes and things of that nature. So what Crystal brought up and ruined any sleep I'll have for the next 3 days was the Paradise Papers. So the Paradise Papers was another event on top of the Panama Papers. Panama Papers, essentially what happens is certain countries offer tax shelter, this tax quote-unquote shelter, so that people can hide money from their government so as not to pay taxes. This happened with Jimmy Carr with Jersey Island. Jersey Island is a very small island between London and France, and it is a tax haven. Then you have the island of Mauritius, which is like paradise, but again, is a lot of islands.
Offshore accounts.
Well, exactly. So it's a tax haven that the whole idea behind why they're called offshore accounts was that traditionally they would be islands such as in the Caribbean or somewhere in the Atlantic or in the Mediterranean, where it was away from prying eyes in general, but a lot of times it was a way for them to amass a significant amount of wealth because...
And where it's coming from. Where the wealth is where the money's coming
from,
yes. How much money is actually there.
Tons.
And it's who's tied together, because it's fine to follow the money, right?
Yes.
They always say that, follow the money.
Yes.
So it's who's getting money from where and for why.
Now, every time these...
And real estate is huge, and it's got a big important aspect to our money. We got to pay attention to that. It is our money. Because we don't actually have money. Nobody does. It's actually just all in real estate and
correct. Money doesn't exist. Well, debt. It's electronic, right? And that's why it's debt. And that's it's functioning as debt, and as well is any dollars that we have are literally a click away from disappearing. So I love how we're just going right into fear-mongering today. This is going to be great. Be terrified, everyone. Be very terrified, because shit is horrible.
It's Terrific Tuesday. Oh, no, we don't know what day this is going to air, but...
well, you know what? With, let me see. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. So it might be around, it'll be a Tuesday or Wednesday, somewhere around there.
It'll be a day.
It's a day.
That's so corny. I
It's-
hate that joke. It's the day that ends the day.
So, what people should understand about this is that every time there's been a quote-unquote leak of information that has pointed towards these things, they have been not just stopped. Reporters and journalists have been murdered. Cars exploded. People's families disappear. Then there have been injunctions by courts saying that, oh, well, you can't use that information because that was confidential. And I love that word, because like, who's the one who decides confidential? And the funny thing is this, is they say, well, this information shows that they've been stealing money from the government for decades. Okay. Then a judge says, well, they say it's confidential, so maybe we shouldn't be looking at that information. You're going, I'm sorry, what the fuck is that shit? So this is the situation we're in, is you have the government protecting the government from paying the government. It's great. It is a fantastic series of things. I encourage everyone to read up on it, but as well, make sure at the end of like the Wikipedia pages, and this is the only problem I had with some of the videos that I found, because my co-host decided to send me just look up Paradise Papers instead of sending me a link. So I went through and looked at some videos that were dog shit.
I read them all.
They were dog shit.
I just don't like, because sometimes people will research something to prove their point,
Right.
what they're going in looking for, right?
Yes.
So it's like sometimes like they're attacking. It's
Trump.
just, you know,
That's what they're
people,
doing. Yeah.
You know what this is all caused from? Is from greed. Everybody
Yes.
wants the biggest house, the most amount of money. They think
Yeah.
that to be the proper human, you have to be the most wealthiest human being on the planet.
Yes.
In order, you have to have the biggest palace, the biggest, and no, that doesn't make you a good human being. Your wealth.
You also have to have the biggest
it's all greed.
dick.
All these scams and everything. Everybody needs to have possession.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody feels that what they have, what they possess, that's their value in life. It's not, and it's really made everybody opposite of valuable. It's made everybody lazy. Because now to make a TikTok video for 2 minutes, you make how much money? More money than a nurse, a doctor. So why would they want to go to school to be a fucking doctor or a nurse or a good police officer? Why? When they can go on fucking TikTok and dance for 5 seconds and make $1 million. You know, like it's
It's
just
true. You're absolutely right.
kind of fucked up.
It's very fucked up.
We can't live simply anymore. Everybody has to live. Oh, can you get a car that gets you from A to B? Yeah, great. Why do you need 10 of them that come in all different colors inside? Like,
Hey,
it doesn't.
let's just ease up on that. I want to have 10 cars. Okay.
But you want to, because this is what society said is great.
No,
Is greatness and value.
I want one for
And, like,
traveling.
being
one
able
for-
to afford Starbucks is value. It means that you're in a good place in your life. No, I'm just saying, according to society, that means that if you live in a subdivision, okay, fine. If you got a mortgage that's paid off, if you got this, if you got a great, beautiful house, it's got the best of this, and this, it's got a jacuzzi. That means that you must be a good person. You're doing well in life. How is value with possession mean that you're doing well? Most of those people are fucked up. I know. I've beaten a lot of them.
Welcome to the Shit on Dino's Dreams show. I'm your host.
But your dreams are those for what? Why? How would that make you better?
I want a car
As
for the
possession.
winter. I want a car for the
Does it make you
summer. I want a
happy?
car that's a convertible. I want a big rugged camper. I want a 4x4 that can go to the moon.
We're all like kids in a store. Oh, candy! I want this. Oh, please, mommy. And then when we're adults, we get enough money to buy all this shit that we want without somebody saying, "Hey, listen, you didn't have that, but you got to go rake this and go do this and go do that in order to earn it, so that way you have value in it, respect it, and then you decide with all this hard work, maybe I just will stick to my needs, and you're grateful for your needs.
So
We're not grateful for anything anymore. We're all fucking selfish pieces of shit. Like
we've been upgraded from the ruined Dino's dreams to just Dino's a piece of shit show.
Not you at all. Why are you taking this so personal?
Because
You're
half
not
the
at all.
shit is mine, you asshole. She's like, "What, you want to be famous?
well,
Start a podcast? You're a piece of shit." I'm like, what?
Fame for value, for money, though, isn't...
Dig up,
like,
go for it. Go for it, you
my
prick.
personal...
I'm just joking.
Like, it's just
Yeah, you're right.
you don't go into business for money. If you go into business for money, you're going to automatically fail.
Correct. Yeah. Let's see what this is.
Business 101. And why is that? Because the ultimate goal and value of an item is not, it's
because
money.
Women should have never gotten the vote.
It's
That's why
passion.
women should have never been allowed to vote.
I totally agree. I agree with this. You know this. I can't even decide what I want to say for right now. Like, I can't decide what kind of makeup. I change 5 times before these podcasts.
Oh my god!
Like, clearly, we should not vote. Like,
that is a horrible statement. And listen, lady, you could come out with clown makeup. You're still gonna be the pretty one. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, come on.
oh, Dino.
I don't know.
Not every day.
Every day.
Some days when you slick it back. Or when his beard's shorter and he doesn't look like a wizard.
On that, so I have binge watched all of Harry Potter over the weekend.
Yes.
And
yes. Are we gonna open up Hogwarts?
I would love to. Can you imagine that? Like, but I would definitely be I would be a problem student, like, because I would do some horrible things, like.
Well, we wouldn't be the students. We're kind of old to be the students.
Okay, but we would have had to have been the students at some point to be professors.
We could build it now. Create it now.
There are Victoria and I, as you know, so Victoria was born in the UK, so we go back. She still has friends and family there, and so we had gotten tickets to see Elton John. It's his final tour in Manchester. Yeah, so
That's so cool.
yeah, it's we're really excited. But so the concert's been moved to December 2021. So, which is fine. Like, I'm happy about that. I'm like, great, yeah, fuck it, let's do it next year. Because originally it was supposed to be in like October or November, and then they switched it to like this year, November, and then they switched it to December of next year, which I'm like, that's even better. But one of the things is they have the Hogwarts tour that you can go on at the studio, I think. So there's a bus that you can take, and I'm like, so we're thinking we're gonna go, and it's a great opportunity for us to go, and we can do it because yeah, they have everything. It's pretty fucking cool.
Oh my god, that is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
They have like the floating candles inside the dining room and everything.
I don't know about that, but it is pretty cool. But
moving walls and like the lady that sings and breaks
okay.
it. She breaks it.
So what you just
and she goes like this and smashes it because she didn't actually break it with her voice.
So the hum that you just made, okay, vibrated from one ear and like jacked my entire head. I was like, oh, whoa, what was that?
I would have broke the mirror.
Oh yeah. that was interesting. But yeah, so I'm thinking, because the last couple times that we were in the UK, we were just in London, and I've never driven. So I've driven in France, I've driven in Greece, which are fucking nightmares, but I've never driven in the UK because it's the other side of the road, and I'm a little worried about it, right? But we're thinking, and the last couple times we tried to go, but it was like, oh, you had to take like 3 different buses, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It's not gonna happen. So now they have an express from London right to the Hogwarts thing.
Harry Potter goodness.
Yeah. Did I tell you what happened? So Victoria, I'm not sure if we covered this, was last time we were there, Victoria found like 2...
Are you gonna get a wizard hat? I'm sorry, I'm just really excited about this.
No, but I do have a functional Gandalf pipe. So from Lord of the Rings, because I had to decide, I didn't have enough money to buy both, but I was going to buy either the Elder Wand or Gandalf's pipe. So it's like a pipe that's like, it's like this long. It's this long, and it actually works. And I'm like, yeah, Gandalf's pipe. Because every once in a while, I will smoke with a pipe, and I find it very enjoyable, but it's very time consuming. You really got to just chill out and smoke your pipe. Like, that's... So, But the funny thing was, when we went, they had the Elder Wand, and I'm like, I could have the Elder Wand. And Victoria's like, that doesn't make you magic. I'm like, yes, it does. It makes me magic.
It does.
The best part,
Instantly.
well, this is the best part, was that this same comic book store, kind of fan store, had a Green Lantern ring. And it was a really, really cool one. And I looked, and I was like, what size is that? And she goes, oh, it's size, I think it was size 10 or size 11. And I'm like, oh. And Victoria's like, we could just size it. And so I look at her, and I'm like, you can't size a Green Lantern ring. I'm like, the Green Lantern ring picks you. You don't pick the Green Lantern ring. And the girl showing it to me just goes, yeah, respect. And I'm like, come on. You can't. I can't choose the Green Lantern. Green Lantern chooses me. I am a man without fear. It has to find me.
When Wonder Woman's passes down her whip and her costume to me, or not her costume, her outfit to me of Wonder, it will fit. That's why I gotta stay small.
Well,
I gotta grow some tits, though. I might have to get a boob job. I'm gonna have to get a boob job. Those corset things, if you don't have the boobs for them, your boobs just kind of like, they don't do nothing. They're just like hanging out in these big cups. Like, I can't wear corsets because they always have those pre-cups that, well, usually women fill out.
So guys,
my boobs just kind of sit in them. They're just like, and they're really kind of awkward. Like, cause
I'll be honest, guys. Listen, like, share, subscribe, so we can get Crystal some fake titties. I think that's fair. That's a fair, that's. I think that's a fair goal. That's a reasonable thing.
I don't know.
There is a lot of people with fake breasts on Instagram. It's I keep on getting conversation requests, and I'm like, no. I'm like, what is? Like, they're like, hey, what's up? And
I've got some of those like Instagram whores that added me as a friend, and I'm like, okay, well, if you need to advertise and you think that I might have some meat that will be like you, then sure.
You know what?
I won't stop in the way of your money, baby. Do your thing. Except for the one guy that keeps posting on my YouTube that real girls here underneath my in my comments underneath my videos. I'm like, hey, no real girls here.
Yeah. I've deleted a couple of those from our videos too. But you know what? I respect the hustle, but don't try and hustle me. You know what I mean? Like that's the bottom line. Is like, hey, I respect your hustle, just don't try and hustle me. I'm not. Yeah. I had one. So there's a few that I'm like, listen, I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to start a conversation. I love my wife. I'm just a pervert. That's the thing is.
Yeah, but they're not going to talk to you for like that. Like, they can't spend their time trying to be the nice friend you while they're wasting time. Like, they're not there to hang out. No. They're
it's about
like,
money.
They're there for
it's
money.
About money, and you know what? Yeah. And I respect the hustle. I do. But don't. Yeah. You're barking up the wrong tree. I neither have money nor the will to like. Have you seen some of these people where you're just like,
well, then go talk to the other people.
Yeah, but they give, like, people give money, and I'm like, this is fucking weird. Yeah.
People will give money just to have a conversation with you, anything.
Yeah, I get it.
Some people are just not for that. Like, some people are just really.
Fuck, we just got another one.
They just want a woman to be nice to them.
We just got another comment that's like, girls online. It's like, fuck you, dude, you piece of shit. Hold on, I gotta just go delete it right now.
Do you think it's me because I look like a, one of those girls that they click on? Yes. I've been told that I walk like...
I definitely do. It's all your fault because that's the way people...
I don't look like a whore, though.
You don't look like a whore. You definitely don't look like a whore. Okay? It's more so that you look like, hey, that's a person I'd like to know. That's what you look like. So, hey, how about that?
I wonder if she's in my area. I love your area, Joe.
Yeah. I've had to move 3 times. I told that.
Oh, that one's good.
I'm working on more ranting material. So this is the problem, is that a comedian who is funny in their own way, don't get me wrong, compared my comedy to their comedy, and I was like, okay. And it just kind of was like, I don't want to. I feel like mine is different, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna figure it out. But That's why I don't.
Who did? They did?
Well, somebody did, and I was just kind of like,
Oh, did I?
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
No. I don't want to put them out there. I don't want to.
No.
It's more so.
I just want to make sure.
I don't.
Because I didn't make you. Because I love your comedy, and I don't want you to think that I said anything.
It was no, not at all. It was more so that
Okay.
I never want anyone to think that I'm trying to do what they do, and that's my biggest concern. Like I've heard people do bits where I was like, that's a lot like mine, and I'm just like, I don't like that. That really bothers me. But no, what are you gonna do? I don't know.
Amy Schumer's gonna end up stealing my bits. No, I'm kidding.
See, the way I see it is this: if you're gonna do my bit, then pay me as a writer.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair. I want to see somebody do mine. I want you to do mine.
I'll do it. We could do that. Let's switch it up.
Yeah, I think it'd be hilarious.
I think so. I just feel like somebody might believe it. That's my problem. Is they might someone so
They would too, because nowadays.
listen, the amount of people on OnlyFans. Listen, I'm not doing an OnlyFans channel, but a lot of people are. I'll tell you that much.
I laugh at the OnlyFans thing. I think it's like, oh my god, people.
Well,
I don't know which is funnier, the people that pay for it or the people that do it.
I don't know. Well, the worst part. So there's a trend of people who are doing OnlyFans. So OnlyFans is supposed to be more X-rated, so you get nude pictures and things like that. But there are women.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was like pen, but you remember how like back in the day you could write Hanson letters and stuff, like a fan club?
No, it's dirty.
I was a New Kids on the Block fan club.
Ew! Gross! Anyways, so there are a lot of people who have OnlyFans accounts. They convince people to sign up, and they say that they have revealing pictures on their OnlyFans, and then they have the exact same pictures they have on Instagram. So they're just taking people's money, and I'm like, that's a dick move, but I gotta say.
Have you been fooled by this?
No, I would never pay. That's... I would only no. I'm not gonna acknowledge that. I almost said something that was not very nice. I was gonna say I'm only gonna pay if you let me play with your titties, but so it's I'm still human.
That's respectable though. That's
Listen,
why I like.
I'm not gonna.
But that's what.
Yeah. It's.
I hear these people though, and I don't understand why these women is like how these girls put up naked pictures and stuff, and they don't charge for them. Like I heard somebody that kind of shocked me, and never mind. It's like innocent people that put up like or send naked pictures looking for attention and stuff, and then they're like, and it's like, I don't know. That's why dating online bothers me because like. Last time I dated, it's just, like it's weird.
No,
like, it's like,
I don't get it.
I thought it was more of like a business arrangement because there's no like personal, like
That actually makes sense.
And if you're gonna,
it actually makes sense. If it's a business
I thought
arrangement,
it was more
makes
like
sense.
a business.
It's not.
Yeah, because you're not really knowing somebody, and you're automatically just gonna jump to like. Obviously, that's nothing personal. Obviously, it's a business arrangement. You're doing something good for me. I'm doing something good for you. Bam.
But it's not. It's really not. It's a very perplexing thing.
But just for attention and stuff, and it's like, well, no wonder it's hard to get respect if you're not trying to gain it.
Absolutely.
Like, and people can say what they want about mine, but at least I was very well respected, and I was very well, gifted. Like, so I didn't also put it out there just for nothing, like.
So that's the end of our time, guys. We've run out of.
We've been talking for a long time.
We have been. We've been talking for about an hour. So like, share, subscribe, guys. Morning motivation for today. Let's say I came upon a picture today. No, not today. A little while ago, and we talked about it a little bit. So I had forgotten about it. I had asked Victoria to print it off for me, just so I had a constant reminder. So I'm going to show you the picture right now. So this is the picture. I'm going to go.
Oh, this
okay.
one.
So here, and this is for you. Okay. Yeah. So
I remember.
I'm more of a 9 without the titties. So I have the titties of 8, but the body of 9. Okay. So what I suggested was I want to be a 7. And I think that's attainable. What are you thinking?
I think it's good.
Keep,
I think it's good.
keep it in your pants. Okay. My wife's going to kill me. So, and I want to let you guys know on a little thing. Was a lot of people have thought, we've heard the saying, out of sight. Stop making weird sounds. Did you just show a vibrator on screen, you bastard?
You said keep it in your pants, so I took it out of my pants.
She wears it like it's in a holster. She's like, pow! So, this is the thing. Everyone's heard, for Morning Motivation, we're going to talk about this, is that everyone's heard the statement, out of sight, out of mind. Okay? I love that she now turned on her vibrator, and it won't turn off. So, if you hear a slight vibrating in the background, that's her. Not me. It's not me. So, out of sight, out of mind. The more we don't see things as that visual reminder, the less chance we're going to remember it. And I know how ridiculous that sounds, because we've all experienced, like, what do you mean I'm not going to remember? This is the stupidest thing. Until you get caught with your pants down, figuratively, not literally, and realize that, you know what? It's a true fact. I had Victoria print this off, and let's be honest, guys. The top 3, never gonna happen. 4 and 5, very unlikely. 6, steroids. 7 is a legitimate. This is possible. It's a lot of hard work.
For walks.
Fuck your walks. So, but the point is this: I had literally forgotten about it. If Victoria hadn't have printed it off for me, it would have been gone. And seeing it, and I have it, I placed it literally on top of my pile of candy. That's where I put it. And the idea behind that is, if I see it there, it'll make me second guess things. Now, does that mean I'm not going to have candy again? Obviously not. We're not animals. Let's not be ridiculous. But what it means is, reminding ourselves of those key goals that we want to put above everything else is something we have to be reminded of. Because after all the law and order and society and control and forced happiness and taxes and owning a property and mowing the lawn, after all this, we are still animals at our basest level. We will kill, we will fight to defend ourselves, and we will eat so we will survive. That is what it comes down to. So we have to keep things prevalent in our minds, in our lives. Otherwise, they will pass us by. There is a lot of people have been posting things about regret and saying, the best time to do something may have been 20 years ago. Maybe the best time to invest in Bitcoin was, 15 years ago or whenever it started. True. That doesn't mean there aren't opportunities today. That doesn't mean that if you start today that it's not going to be successful. We started a podcast. It's very exciting stuff, okay? After everything, would it have been great to have started a few years ago? Sure. I wasn't a comic. You weren't. I hadn't even been to Oshawa before, okay? So that tells me something really important, is that putting out reminders for yourself, a sticky note or something of that nature, is going to help. But it's how we want to help ourselves. And that's really what we have to figure out, is what help do we want, what's reasonable, and if it is reasonable, then let's do it. But there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with jogging our memory. There's nothing wrong with doing those things, because the fact is, I'll tell you right now, I forget all sorts of fucking shit, and I could be a real asshole. And that's just it. But you know what? If I have a friend who will remind me, like, hey, you're being a condescending prick, maybe I can be better. Maybe I can do something better. Right?
Vice versa.
So that's the whole point, though, right? Is those reminders, those aren't an attack. That's someone that cares about you, that wants you to be the best you for you, not for anyone else. And that's a valuable thing, and it's something we have to take away from it. Anyways, I think that's all I got to say. Crystal, where can everyone find you?
Simply me on YouTube, Crystal Morency on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Did you?
No, I have it
loud?
too loud, and you just yelled into my ear, so I'm like, No, so, okay.
And Dino.
I don't know how many trumpets she has. Guys, Dino the Genetic Marvel on YouTube, Facebook. I have a fan page, Instagram, Twitter.
Only fan page.
Definitely do not have an OnlyFans page, but like, share, subscribe as well. Morning Motivational Rant. We have our videos on YouTube. We have the audio on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast Podcasts, Radio Public, and Spotify. As well, the Instagram page and our Facebook fan page. So please go there. We may start uploading random stuff. So please like, share, subscribe. In the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow and stay motivated. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.